Up next on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, we check out the action on Lake Ray Roberts with the Texas Team Trail, and then it's off to Alabama to highlight the Alabama Bass Trail's first ever open tournament on Smith Lake. We check out the high school fishing camp put on by Costa, plus we get comments and opinion from some of the top pros in bass fishing on the condition of Kentucky Lake, as well as bring fishing and racing together on Lake Norman. All that along with the Sportsman's Warehouse Product Spotlight, Strike King Pro Tips, and more. The Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show starts right now. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. We got a packed show for you this week, so let's get on down the road and head to Smith Lake in Alabama with highlights of the first ever Alabama Bass Trail Open. Here's Alabama Bass Trail Program Director Kay Donaldson with Robbie Floyd.
Thanks. And Kay, we've been here at Lewis Smith Lake before, but in a different capacity. We've been here for a championship, a two-day event. We've been here for tour stops, single-day events, but it's a little different.
You know, what was really interesting last night at the meeting is we had over half of the room was here for the first time fishing an Alabama Bass Trail event. And the greatest thing is that $15,000 first prize and over $70,000 will be awarded today.
A lot of new talent, but it's also different because they don't have to fish the other tour stops. They can just sign up, enter, and win that big check.
You know, and that's exciting. We had teams from Pensacola, we had teams from Tennessee that came all the way to Lewis Smith Lake for a chance to not only win $15,000, but they wanted to get their feet wet in the Alabama Bass Trail. They've heard a lot about it, they've seen it on TV, and they want to get their feet wet. So it's really exciting to see this many new faces.
And a lot of these guys have heard of Smith Lake. The question is, do they go for spotted mouth? Do they go for the largemouth bass? Let's take a look.
Oh my God, it's a giant.
We're doing better, we catch some fish.
What you got right now?
3.
Okay.
I got 2 damn good ones, but y'all can waste your whole day sitting here and might see us catch 1 good one.
Nice. Team Wiggins, Team Sams, quit looking, quit looking. What you looking at?
I gotta know.
Did you, it's gonna be close, huh?
I don't know, we got 13 something.
Brother was sweating it. You thought you had 13. Right now on the amateur side, 14.23 is our leader. Wesley Sams, Jordan Wiggins, 14.94. They take the lead here at Smith.
Well, it started off kind of slow. It took me till about 7 o'clock to get a bite. He caught a little one, and then I caught a little one, and the first keeper that we caught was the big one that we had, weighed a little over 5 pounds. And we fished and fished and fished, and he caught the one that probably weighed between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. And we grinded it out all day long. We knew from practice it was going to be a grind.
You can stay up to date with Alabama Bass Trail as well as other tournaments in your area. Just log on to anglerschannel.com and check out the tournaments page. Coming up on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, teaching the next generation of anglers the ins and outs of our great sport, we introduce you to the Costa Kids Camp. Next, and later in the show, it's off to Sam Rayburn with the Texas Team Trail right after the break.
The Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, sponsored by Ranger Boats, featuring the Z Comanche, 50 years in the making, by Mercury Marine, quality, performance, innovation, reliability, and by Strike King Lures, celebrating 50 years.
It is such a good night to kiss. It is such a good night to get bad day on the road still beats a good one off it. Progressive helps keep you out there.
For 50 years, Ranger has led the way in innovative, high-performance designs, and we're raising the bar again with a bold new flagship line, the Ranger Z Comanche L Series. These rigs are custom crafted with a passion for perfection and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver domination at every level. The next generation Ranger L Series. Celebrate a legacy, 50 years in the making.
You know, guys, I hate to admit it, but before every tournament, I have to tie one on. And I really hate to admit this, but before the Bassmaster Classic, I really have to tie one on. And if you do what I did and tie one on from Strike King, maybe you'll get what I got, a classic hangover.
Hey, not all boaters are the same. Bass fishermen have specific demands we place on our equipment. Not all boat insurance is the same. Progressive offers customizable coverages to suit your lifestyle and the way you use your boat. No depreciation on repairs is included on all Progressive boat policies at no additional cost to you. This means your boat will be restored to its pre-accident condition or better. With Progressive, all small claims of $500 or less are forgiven. Small claims will not count against you, and they won't charge you more because you have one or more. Perpetual agreed value is a great way to protect yourself from depreciation. If you have a total loss, you'll receive the agreed value of your boat, an amount you and Progressive previously agreed upon, for as long as you own your boat. Remember, not all boat insurance is the same, and the folks at Progressive get it, and they're working to tailor coverages to suit our bass fishing lifestyle.
If you're watching this show, we know you're passionate about bass tournaments, fishing, and gear. Passing that knowledge down to younger anglers is a dream being realized this year with the inaugural Costa Kids Summer Camp. Here's Costa Sunglasses' own Melinda Hayes.
I had a dream of building a high school fishing summer camp, and the reason is because I fish a lot of tournaments at home, and I would see high school anglers making a lot of mistakes on the water. So the goal with this class is to teach them. This whole camp was structured to give these anglers and their coaches and their parents the tools that they need to be successful on and off the water and to make our sport better, so much better in the long run.
So our partners at Costa came to us with an idea for a high school fishing summer camp. That partnership led to this week, a year-long process of planning and getting ready for these anglers from across the United States, 125 of them from 23 states, and the week has gone spectacular.
Awesome opportunity. We had like 120 kids, a lot of parents came out. I mean, what an opportunity for this next generation to learn from a lot of the pros around the country. You know, FLW brought in myself, they brought in Andy Morgan, they brought in the top guys on the FLW Tour, lots of them. Even Casey Ashley came down past Bassmaster Classic champ. So what an opportunity for these guys to learn, and girls. There was actually quite a few girls in it.
It's been a really great experience. I've learned a lot from a lot of great pros. I'm actually trying to learn a lot more about the electronics and the deep fishing and structure scan and 2D scan and everything. And Casey Ashley really taught me a lot about that.
Today I've had a great time getting to meet new pros, getting to talk to some people, learning a lot about social media.
So what an incredible week to be a high school fishing angler. I wanted to go back to high school so bad this week because we had such an incredible time this week here at the first ever Costa FLW High School Fishing Summer Camp. I couldn't think of better people to be taught from, and these 125 anglers and 50 adults, they got the full deal. You know, anything from fish care to boating safety to summer tactics to approach any lake, or even how to practice. So they're really geared up, and they're going to be anglers to watch out for in the future for sure.
Now it's time for the Sportsman's Warehouse Product Spotlight. This week, Sportsman's Warehouse pro Brian Thrift tells us about his favorite line. Brian?
This week's Sportsman's Warehouse product spotlight is the P-Line Tactical Fluorocarbon. It is awesome. Superior knot strength, no stretch, stronger, and more castable than any fluorocarbon on the market. I love all the pound sizes. For my spinning rod, I use 6 and 8, and on my bait casters, I use everything from 10 to 20. Put you some 20-pound P-line tactical on it. It's going to put more fish in the boat for you and be less line breakage and less lost fish. P-line tactical, you can find it at Sportsman's Warehouse, sportsmanswarehouse.com.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up, it's Fishing Meets Racing with our friend Ed Watkins and drag racing champion Tanner Gray from Lake Norman. And later, it's the Texas Team Trail. Stay with us.
This portion of the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter, by Costa Del Mar, eyewear made with the angler in mind, by TH Marine Quality Marine Products, and by ARE Truck Caps, Covers, and Accessories.
From the dedicated, passionate anglers at G. Loomis, we bring you E6X. We know fishing and know how to make high-performance rods. Each E6X blank features multi-taper technology and action-matched high-grade cork handles, providing perfect balance and sensitivity. E6X belongs in your hand. Feel connected. For more information, visit gloomis.com.
From bass and walleye to crappie and the great outdoors, no one has ever built aluminum boats like these from Ranger. They're packed with standard features. The ride is super smooth, they're whisper quiet and incredibly stable. Check out the difference in quality, performance, and room in a Ranger aluminum design. America's fastest growing aluminum line. No matter what you're after on the water, these rigs are engineered to excel and priced to be yours.
Omar, look. Omar, check this out. Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if you do laser hair removal for men. Notice that my hips are off the ground? And then I'm gonna pike my hips back into downward dog. Hey, the rain stopped.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it.
Tell me about that dental procedure again! I can still taste it in my mouth.
Progressive helps keep you out there.
Kentucky Lake has hosted numerous FLW and Elite Series events over the years. Kentucky Lake and its neighbor, Barkley, is also known as the South's Great Lakes. This part of the Tennessee River is popular with ledge anglers, but offers something for every angler's preferred pattern throughout the year. We had a chance to speak with some of the pros about the carp issue that is affecting Kentucky Lake and the changes they have seen and what steps are being taken to preserve this important fishery.
It's not just carp. Carp has a big effect. The carp have had a big effect as far as our bait fish numbers are way down. There's not the bait. Carp is part, we've had a couple, we've got some really bad year class spawns that now should be the ones you're catching that just aren't there. Usually I should not have a problem catching a limit of bass that weigh 11 or 12 pounds, 10 pounds, flipping. And I got 4 bites. Now they weighed about 16.5 pounds, but I only got 4 bites. Well, I went back the next day and I got 3. It's like it was pretty obvious there was a whole population of fish that had vanished, so.
Right now, I feel like the basic population of Asian carp in the lake is about 50% of the biomass, either a silver carp or a big head carp. And the 2 species of fish that take it on the chin first are your crappie and your bass. And we've seen dramatic decreases in our young of the year fish once this carp issue got to the 50% biomass level. The Elite Series tournament that we had here, I finished in the top 12 in that tournament. In the bushes in the first week of May, I should have come home with bruises on my side from flipping and pitching, but I managed to get 30 keeper bites in 7 days of fishing. That's 3 days of practice and 3 days of tournament. I did not use my bump board but one time in the whole tournament to measure one 14.5-inch fish because I hadn't seen one. That year class of fish, we have a distinctive gap.
You know, I do think that we will see a brighter future, but I think we're in for a couple more tough years.
Contact your legislators, your state officials, your national officials, and ask them for federal monies to be devoted to this problem. That's how you, the angler, can help this problem in the Mid-South and anywhere the Mississippi River touches any of our waters or feeds into those waters or drains to them. But that's our main thing right now, is to raise money to help the commercial fishermen get these things out of our lakes. We may never get them out of our lakes, but we can at least attempt to control them, and it'll save our bass fishing and it'll save our fishers.
Thanks, guys. Let's stick with our FLW pros on this week's Lose Strike King Pro Tip of the Week.
Hey guys, just a little tip for you on crankbait reels. A lot of times you reach in your rod locker, you might not have a crankbait tied on, or you want to reach down and grab a rod real quick, tie a crankbait on it, and you don't know which one's your slower gear ratio and which one's your faster gear ratio. One thing that I do, Lose has in their accessory lineup reel handles with different colored knobs. We have it in green, red, blue, gray, charcoal, all that. Let's say I go from my hair jig rod and I want to reach down and pick up my crankbait rod. I leave all of my other reel handles the same color, because a lot of times I'm throwing the same gear ratios on most of those. But then whenever I want to crank, I want that little bit slower gear ratio. I always know that when I reach down and I pick up a reel that has the red handled knobs on it, that it's my slower gear ratio, and that's the one that I crank with. So just a little tip, it helps you be more efficient, and in tournament fishing, time is money.
Tanner Gray is a name that may not be familiar to anglers, but if you're interested in drag racing, you sure know the name. Tanner Gray is a National Hot Rod Association driver in the Pro Stock class. Gray is the youngest professional driver to win a national event in NHRA history, and he's based in Mooresville, North Carolina. Our friend Ed Watkins from Ed Watkins Marine also has racing in his blood. When he's not selling and servicing Ranger boats, he's on the NASCAR circuit as Jackman and Gasman. We listen in as these two racers took a break from the road to look for some North Carolina spotted bass.
So what made you want to get into racing, Ed?
Probably a lot like you. It's I think you're kind of born into it. You got that racing blood in you. You got that competitive drive, that competitive spirit.
You know, my dad ended up winning one race in his rookie year, and just from then on. Oh, looks like you got one.
Off the top water. Holy smokes, looky here. Looky here, guys. Holy smokes. That's one of the cool things that Lake Norman has. It's got a good population of spotted bass. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's cool listening to what all you've got and what all you got going on with NHRA, and it's really cool hearing the similarities and just knowing the similarities between the NASCAR stuff that I've done and what you're going through with the NHRA stuff. And I'm telling you what, man, I'm just fascinated with.
I think I got me one here, Ed.
Oh, set the hook. There we go. Good catch. Good catch. Shaky head, strikes again. Here we go. Oh yeah. Get the net. There you go, look at that. Perfect. That's a good tournament keeper right there. Pull him in the boat. Go ahead and just pull him right in. There you go. Awesome. Good catch, man. Woo! Look at that. Look at that.
Coming up, to Texas we go with the Texas Team Trail on Ray Roberts. There's lots more action ahead on the Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show.
The Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by Minn Kota Trolling Motors, by Humminbird Electronics, Sims Clothing, and Ed Watkins Marine.
It's off to Central Texas for the fourth stop of the season for the Texas Team Trail. 218 teams are competing for more than $85,000 in cash and prizes. Just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Lake Ray Roberts is our venue. Texas Team Trail angler Seth Kelm previews today's tournament.
Boy, Ray Roberts is it's that lake that is going to take a big sack to win. There's fish moving up, there's fish coming back, so it's a fisherman's dream right now. If you want to catch them shallow, you'll be able to catch them shallow. If you want to catch them deep, there's post spawn fish. So it's going to be a shootout. I mean, it's going to be a great day today.
Aside from all the prize money, there's a points race today for the Lucas Oil Team of the Year. Jeff Reynolds and Johnny Thompson are defending that title that they won last year.
Yeah, for Lucas Oil Team of the Year, we were fortunate enough to win it last year. This year we're sitting in third place. We had a good tournament at Amistad. You never know how it's going to turn out. You just got to go catch all you can catch every day and see what happens. There's a lot of other guys that are in there that's got a chance to win it. The points are really tight this year. First place has got a little bit of a gap, but you know, on this lake, anything can happen.
Eric Magaha and Chris Wernicke are fishing shallow early.
I'm not really sure what these fish are doing right now. They're so spread out, and it's hard to tell if the majority of the fish are post-spawn or pre-spawn or just, you know, on beds in the mud and we can't see them. So
we can't really pinpoint what they're doing. So we're struggling a little bit, but we've got some stuff figured out.
We got a little rock pile out here we're just fishing across the top of. It's probably about 2 foot on top and falls off around 16, 18 foot all around the outside edge. It's usually a pretty good early morning spot. If we had a little wind on it, it would really help. But so far, we've got three bites on it.
The percentages are with you. You generate enough bites, you're going to get a hold of the couple of the right ones.
Fish.
Rat. Rat.
Natty tat.
You look right there on their fin, see how the fin's all broke up. That little male's been sitting there on a bed just coming off.
Kelly Owens and Brent Brossard won big at a previous stop at Amistad, and it looks like they found some on the bed.
Got her! Here she comes, here she comes. Coming with you.
Yeah, baby! Woo! Hung in there. I got you in the mouth.
Yeah, she all up in the mouth.
Woo! All right. She's hung up.
Yeah.
Hung through the net.
7 on the nose.
Weigh-in saw Lake Ray Roberts show out like we expected. Owens and Broussard brought in their limit, including a 7-pounder to take 6th place with 23.42. Big bass of the tournament went to Blake Schroeder and Easton Hagley with this monster 8.85-pound lunker. And coming in on top was the team of Adam Pells and Chris Pells with a 5-fish limit at 28.70 pounds. 21 plus pounds to make the top 10. Congratulations to the Pells. Keep up to date with the Texas Team Trail by going to texasteamtrail.com. Thanks for watching this week's action-packed Progressive Bass Wrap-Up Show. Don't forget, anything and everything you need online 24/7 at anglerschannel.com. We'll see you next week.
Promotional consideration provided by Carhartt, Bass Mafia, Buckeye Lures, Collins Boating, by Gemini Custom Brands and Fishing Jerseys, and by Rhino Hitch. Produced by anglerschannel.com.